Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, as someone that records a daily tech podcast and also has audio and video calls from my computer every single day of the week with people all over the world, I'm going to let you into a secret. There's one problem that drives me absolutely nuts. It's the curse of the notification sounds. I can identify them all within just a couple of bars for everything from emails, Skype, Slack, Zoom Hangouts. So many different sounds, not to mention the dreaded Windows and Mac operating system sounds too. But today I've discovered a solution called Krisp that is a noise cancellation application for Windows and Mac that is aiming to deliver privacy and productivity during calls. In a nutshell, AI-powered Krisp mutes all background noise during audio and video calls. So straight away I'm thinking, okay, you've got my attention. But on the day that they've announced it, I managed to secure a few moments with them to find out more information. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to Armenia so we can speak with the CEO and founder behind Krisp, who's going to tell us all about it. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about 2Hertz, where you're based, and also what your company's mission is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we started the company in 2017, October, so it's almost 2 years. And we started in Berkeley, California, and now we are in two locations, Berkeley and Armenia. So most of our team actually on the product engineering and marketing is in Armenia, and business and sales are being done in Berkeley. So we started the company with the idea, with a very simple idea to create a technology that mutes the background noise in calls, like calls such as, you are in a Skype call or Zoom call, and there is background noise around you. So you click a button and the noise disappears entirely. And we decided to do it entirely with AI, right? So, and the mission of the company is improve the productivity of remote workers when they are on calls. So like one of these things is noise cancellation, right? And that's what we have started with. But Krisp as a product is going to evolve into a productivity call, like more of a productivity call, to make remote workers' life much easier.
Fantastic. And I must admit, as a podcaster, I'm quite excited to get you on today because I'm a sucker for anything related to increasing the quality of audio input and output. But can you, just for anyone listening, hearing about you guys for the first time, because you are unveiling everything today, can you tell us what Krisp is and how people listening could actually use it in their workplace?
Yeah, absolutely. So Krisp today is a super simple app. It does one job and it does it great, right? It cancels the background noise for you when you're on calls. It's a soft piece of software you download from our website, krisp.ai, Krisp with K, and it supports Windows and Mac. You install it, and it registers itself as a virtual microphone. And the cool thing is that you can, out of the box, you can use it with any app you want, like Zoom, Skype, Hangouts, and even with podcasting and recording apps. And so today, Krisp supports over 600 different apps out of the box. So it gives you a UI where it gives you a button, right? You click that button, and all the background noise surrounding you disappears for the other part of the call participants. So all they hear is your voice. So imagine you're sitting in Starbucks. There is a background noise, there is a music playing. You just click the button in Krisp, and that's it. The other part doesn't hear that. They won't know that you're in Starbucks. They would think you're in office. So, but in addition, what's even cooler is that as long as you have Krisp on your laptop, with another button, you can mute the background noise coming from others to you. So if someone called you from their car, you hear their car noise, you click the button, and the car noise disappears. So as long as you have Krisp on your laptop. That's basically a bi-directional noise cancellation. And that's it. So it does one job, but there is nothing else in the world that does that. So this is great for people who work remotely, even gamers or podcasters, digital nomads, like call centers. So many segments that we can think of.
I can't tell you how many people I speak with every day, and I hear them Zoom notifications, text messages, email notifications come in. So it sounds fantastic.
Key typing, right?
Yeah, key typing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you're unearthing all my pet hates now. So you began the development of Krisp AI almost 2 years ago. So I've got to ask, what was your inspiration to create Krisp AI? And were you trying to fix something that was broken or just something that was annoying you at the time?
Yeah, actually, I must say that we started working on the idea even like more than 2 years ago. It's been 3 years, and it's been like extremely difficult to create the algorithms, right? So like this is innovation. There is nothing like this in the world. Like from quality wise, whatever comes with Krisp, inside Krisp, there is no other technology that matches its quality. So what the inspiration was that before starting 2Hertz with my co-founder, I was at a company called Twilio, and I've worked there for 3 years. So Twilio is a communications platform, and I was, my head was entirely into communications. And one thing that I noticed is that over time, carriers and then Twilios of the world have enabled communications to everyone, right? Communications are easy today, but this didn't necessarily improve the quality of communications, right? You might even argue that the quality has decreased over time. So I had the idea like why people don't use AI to apply to this problem, to do noise cancellation. Then I met my to-be co-founder, Arto, who is a brilliant, smart guy. He holds PhD in math, and he also holds MBA, so like business savvy PhD. So he really liked the idea, and he teamed up with the folks that he has done his PhD with, and they started working on the technology. And then, like 2 years ago, we decided to do like a real company out of this. It was really tough, like audio is difficult. We had 7 PhDs in the team, like from math and physics. But we got here, so we chose the right direction, and here we are. We are celebrating 2 years of our work now. So a lot of excitement in the team.
It really is a small world. You mentioned Twilio there. I think I remember speaking, I think it was Mark Borodotsky, from Twilio.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke to him about 3 years ago on this podcast. I think they were trying to kill the password back then. Did they kill the password? Yeah.
Well, Mark is a good friend of mine, actually. So when I joined Twilio, Twilio acquired OT. And Mark was the general manager of OT. So, we went to trips together a couple of times to Colombia, where the team was. Well, actually, I think OT has been quite successful after joining Twilio. I have a lot of experience in killing passwords before Twilio even. But yeah, so Mark is a great friend of mine.
Speaking of Twilio, I'm kind of curious how that role there and that vital role you played at Twilio, how that led to where you are today. Is that something you can expand on?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my role was I was heading the product security team. So I was responsible for security of all product lines, which allowed me to get exposure into what Twilio does, right? Twilio had many products. So I learned a lot about communications, about, carriers, and that was my job because I needed to know how to secure these products, right? So, but there is another thing that I learned at Twilio, and Twilio is an amazing company with an amazing culture. So I learned what a great culture at a company is, right? And I learned how to treat people and manage people, right? And I learned a great deal of things from the executive staff as well by just observing them. So there are many things that I have been very inspired by that I'm trying to apply at 2Hertz, and I think that's one of the secrets that our company is successful today.
Now, the Krisp app is like any other noise cancellation app out there, like you said a few moments ago. So what actually makes it so fundamentally better than what currently exists in the marketplace? And who is your target user and customer? I mean, you've said, obviously, it's ideal for me as a podcaster, but in a more corporate world as well, who are your target customers?
Yeah, let me start with the first part of the question, like what makes this so unique, right? So when we started working on the problem, we decided to do like applied machine learning to this, right? And to be honest, we were not audio people. But we didn't have anyone with audio expertise. Like no one in our team has built microphones and speakers in the past, but they were brilliant mathematicians and physicists. So we approached the problem fundamentally from a different perspective. And fundamentally, this is the approach. Like we have collected a large data set of background noises, a very large. And then we have collected a large data set of human voices that have been recording in studios, right? And when you mix them together, you get a very large data set of noisy speech for which you have the clean speech, output, right? So that's what we use to train our network, a neural network. And obviously, there is a lot of IP that we created around the mathematics, like how we design these models. But at the end of the day, this approach is a big innovation, right? Traditionally, noise cancellation requires multiple microphones to operate. Like on our phones, we have 2 to 4 microphones to do just noise cancellation. And today, our technology doesn't require the second microphone. Like it can basically work on any audio stream and clean the background noise from it. So this is the uniqueness of the technology.
Yeah.
And the second part of the question was, okay, so who is this? Who are the users, right? So today we are launching Krisp with 2 plans, really, like actually 3 plans. One is like targeted for individuals. Like we think professionals are like most of the users are going to be professionals, right? And if someone who is just he's like a digital nomad, he's a freelancer, he's a gamer, they can go and download our Krisp individual plan. And there are 2 plans within that. Like there is free plan, and we give the inbound noise cancellation. So basically, you can download Krisp for free, for forever free, and listen without background noise. So that's the inbound called noise cancellation. And then, or if you want to do your microphone, so the outbound cancellation, you're going to pay for that, $5 a month. So that's the individual plan. And we are also launching with Krisp Team, which is for like small teams, enterprises. And the only difference is that there is a central, user management and central billing for that. So we think these 2 plans work very well together. And that's the feedback we have seen so far, right? I don't know if you, Neil, I don't know if you heard about this, but we actually launched Krisp for Mac in beta 6 months ago on Product Hunt, and then it became Product of the Year in audio and voice category in 2018. So that was an amazing recognition for us, and we thought, okay, this is something people want. So we started building the Windows version, and that's why this is such an important milestone for us, launching these 2 packages at plans based on users' feedback.
I'm a little bit disappointed in myself now for not hearing about you till a couple of weeks ago, because I had no idea about that beta version on Mac. And speaking of that beta version, what kind of feedback have you received in that time from users and the kind of downloads that you picked up? I mean, was there a real desire for the product, and was everybody surprised and delighted, or what kind of experiences did they have? I mean, do you get to hear those feedback stories as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And so when we did our beta, the idea was to, collect feedback, right? So we had integrated into our app. So users could, with one click, they could talk to us. So that was vital. And so they gave us a lot of feedback. And I should say that most of the feedback was like, when is the Windows version ready? So yeah, I think the feedback in general was phenomenal. So people we we clearly understood that there is a product market fit. Like people want this. This is a real problem that they want to solve. And obviously there were some glitches in the app as well. Like there was a feedback around that as well, and which we have fixed over time. So yeah, I mean, like people, and we have seen, you know, these are like folks that have told us, right? Like moms that say like you saved our life because we need to work from home and we have a crying baby all the time, right? And now it can be more like sound more professional, but with Krisp, right? A feedback such as that one, or like people who take their calls from Starbucks, and so yeah, like the general feedback was like phenomenal for us, and we use that feedback to build what's coming up now, 1.0 version.
Excellent. So today then, is quite a special day for you guys and the Krisp team, because you've announced that you're now out of beta, you've got that award under your belt. But what does that mean for anyone that might be interested in using it today?
I think the biggest addition today is Windows, right, for us. And Krisp is going to, like, you will, if you have seen the beta and now you're going to see the new version, you will see that visually it's much more appealing. It's much, you know, more neat application. But the biggest addition is Windows, really. And I think like, and we have seen it from our website as well, like 90% of the visitors on the website were Windows users. So that's one. And the second thing that we are launching with is we are doing very cool promotions. So there is a like early users can get like up to 1 year of free Krisp by just referring to their friends. There is a very neat promotion program, referral program built into Krisp Individual, and a very neat program also built into a promotion program built into Krisp Team. Like this, I think is very cool. So when you create a Krisp team the first time, within 1 week, if you invite your team members, all of them are going to get 1 year free Krisp. So this is like early adopters, I think, are going to appreciate this promotion.
And I'm going to have to give it a try myself now, but I do fear that if on any podcast at any point there's a notification sound come through, people are going to be saying, Neil, you've got Krisp AI, what are you playing at? but can anybody use it? How easy is it for anybody to pick up and get to grips with? Is it a case of just downloading and pushing a button? Is it that easy?
Yeah, it is. It is actually very easy. So as long as you have Mac, and we only support Windows 10 today, which is the largest, from all the Windows versions. So as long as you have one of these, you're good to go. It's very simple, like installation.
And what excites you? I mean, today's a very exciting day for you, but what are you most excited about this year and getting it out there?
Look, like we have been working on this for 2 years. There has been like many sleepless nights, obviously, right? This is a startup. And when I look at today, there is so much energy in the room, right? So much positive energy. That's like within the team. And this is what really is exciting, right? Like as a team, we have created something that doesn't exist in the world. And this is the first day for us. Like I can't wait to see where this is going to take us, right? And how users are going to endorse this, right? Or just receive this as an app. So I'm looking forward for that feedback.
Now, you mentioned the sleepless nights there and the tremendous highs and lows of any startup journey. And I'm conscious we will have some people listening all over the world that are at various stages of their own startup journey, and they're a long way off from beta releases and actually going live. So I'm curious, what advice would you offer to somebody at the beginning of their journey?
Oh, man, there are so many. And, one thing I realize is there are many people that have, that gave advices to me. But it's very difficult to absorb this, like to understand this, the value of this advice or the concept of the advice, unless you start to experience some of that, and then you start to realize the value of the advice, right? I think the biggest piece of advice, which people can find in different places as well, is to focus on one thing and do one thing and do it great, and then start thinking about other things, like the newer things that you need to add on top of that one single thing, right? And it's a very tough thing to do. Like, it's not easy. Like, everyone tells that, but unless you experience that, because, and the reason is that you don't know what's the right thing to focus, right? You have like 10, you can see 10 things, but your job as a co-founder or founder or a CEO is to find that one single thing that is the most important thing to focus, to make your team focus on and deliver in a high quality package. So I think that would be the key advice. And if I were like, if I knew all the things that I know now and went back, and I think it would save us a lot of sleepless nights. But I guess that's the beauty of startups, right? You can never avoid that. So it's a tough but fun job.
Well, before I let you go, could I just ask that you remind everyone listening of where they can actually download the version, and your website details, social channels, and also how anyone listening could maybe contact a member of your team if they're left with any additional questions about anything that we've talked about today.
Absolutely. So our website is krisp.ai, Krisp with K. Simply go there and you can download the app. And in terms of contacting, actually there is intercom chat within the website, and there is also intercom within our application. So it's very easy to talk to us. And actually, I'm going to be one of the receivers of everything you say. So we may have a one-on-one chat.
Fantastic. I completely wish you the best for this. I'm going to download it myself. I'll make a promise to you there, and I will let you know how I get on with it. But also for sharing your story from that time where you spent at Twilio there and learning about the culture, how to manage and treat people. And then here you are now on your own journey. You've come out of beta. You've got the big award. And everything seems to be falling into place. And even though you've had those sleepless nights and you've gone through the startup grind, like you said, there's never been more energy in the room. And it almost feels like a lot of the time, I think, that everything happens for a reason and you're where you're meant to be right now. So a big thank you for sharing that story with me today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Neil. This was great. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward for your feedback, actually. Feel free to reach out and tell me if you have any issues or anything. Thanks a lot.
A new AI-powered Krisp is removing background noises, and I love how it adapts to each person's voice, resulting in unparalleled call quality. And that point alone certainly captured my attention. I love how Krisp mutes those noises in both directions of the calls, because very often when I'm recording this podcast, I'll mute all of my notification sounds and I just hear the guests' Skype messages popping through or email sounds, etc. So for those reasons, I love how it seamlessly integrates with all your usual conferencing apps such as Skype and WebEx and Zoom, not to mention Slack, Hangouts, and so many more. And it's also independent of the user's microphone or headset. And yes, some of you might think this is a first world problem, but those notification sounds have ruined many, many podcast interviews for me over the years. But it's not just that. More and more professional calls are now taking place from noisy, distracting environments. Whether that be open workspaces, coffee shops, or even a home office. This solution seems to be created to fix that for everyone, not just podcast hosts. So I must admit I'm itching to give this a try, and I'm also curious of how it will deal with things like crowd noises at conferences, etc. But what did you think of today's chat? Was it just for geeky podcast hosts, or do you see a genuine use for this in your busy professional environment and how you handle your communications? For example, if you've got somebody in a coffee machine dialing into a meeting that's in a boardroom, the ability to remove all that background noise has got to be valuable, hasn't it? But this is where you guys come in, so please email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, tweet me at Neil C. Hughes, or pop by my website, techblogwriter.co.uk, where you can find out more information and links, etc. about today's guest, and also look at one of nearly 900 other interviews from tech leaders across multiple industries. So while I'm waiting for you guys to send me your feedback, I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea now and rest my vocal cords, because I've got another podcast guest for you tomorrow. So a big thank you for listening, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.